Today I have a great guest that I'm so excited to bring to the pod. But before I get there, everybody calm down. Calm down, calm yourselves. Let's breathe. I'm trying something new with the pod where I like to start off. I'm gonna get to the topic, but I want you to take 5 seconds. Just ready yourself, become still, and just breathe. All right. So we're gonna take 5 seconds and we're just gonna breathe. One more time with your boy. All right. Well, the benefit of that is that it helps us just kind of be prepared for what we're going to receive today. And this one's special. I met our guest today in the hot streets of Essence Festival in New Orleans. And when I say we were working, and there was I will tell you hundreds of people that were coming into the studio that day. But some people just stand out. Some people bring an energy, some people bring a light that they refuse to turn down. And that is the case in point in how I got to meet my guest today, Joie Emmanuelle. I hope I'm saying that right. I know her as the Golden Nug. She is a multifaceted creator from Uptown, DC. She started exploring makeup artistry just at the early age of 11 and has evolved into what many will say is a powerhouse creative director, a touring artist, educator. She has worked with iconic brands such as Beyonce's, yes, that Miss Carter, her brand, Sacred, while hosting other transformative makeup and hair master classes. She directs visual campaigns and is inspiring thousands through her work. And I could be here all day celebrating all the things she's doing, but I want her to speak for herself. Let's welcome to the pod, Joie Emmanuelle. Now, am I saying that right?
You are. Perfect. It's perfect.
All right. How you feeling today?
I'm great. I'm so glad we finally get to do this. I'm really excited to talk, to, just get with the fellow Sag. It's going to be great.
Yes. Now, how are you feeling today? Like, you having a good day? You have your matcha or your coffee, whatever you're into?
I'm good. I think I'm going to get like some boba matcha after this, really set the tone for the day.
I'm not mad at that. Not mad at that.
Indeed.
Now, are you more like a strawberry matcha? Like, what's your go-to order?
Oh, okay. Set the scene.
Come on.
I like to do iced matcha. Has to be light ice though, so that way you can actually enjoy it. Oat milk because we're lactose over here. We'll do, of course, the matcha. I'll add oat milk. I'll do pumps of lavender syrup.
School us.
Yes, we'll do lavender syrup. We'll add a little bit of vanilla, and we'll add some honey. It tastes like Fruit Loops. It's so good. It is so good.
Listen, y'all will see me order that.
Yes.
And I'm gonna tag you.
Yes, try it out. Let me know how you like it.
Now, how did you discover that? Like, how did you get to that recipe? That's very intricate.
Oh, my sister Maya. She was actually at Essence with me.
Okay.
My tall girl. She puts me onto all the different matcha like recipes and stuff like that. She's always experimenting with different syrups and whatnot. So one time we went to Black Lion Cafe.
Okay.
And she was like, try it with lavender syrup. Promise. Like, it was so good. So good. So
listen, shout out to the siblings that be doing the good work.
Listen.
I ain't mad at it.
Love her down.
Love her down. Now, while we're in the spirit of conversation, I want to start off a little light, okay? Let's get our audience knowing you a little bit more. Okay. I have a couple questions.
Yeah.
So, if your creativity had a scent, what would it smell like?
I love this question so much. All right. Picture this. I have two that come into play. So if we're going for the more lighthearted airiness, bright, but it still has a little bit of warmth to it, the sunshine, I would say Amber Shores by Kitsch. It's this new, like, it's actually a hairspray that they came out with, like a hair perfume. But I
Wow.
spray it all over. It has like these coconutty, like, layers and scents within it, but then also has that warmth from the amber. And so, like, reminds you of like being like a beach, like just very summery, like a
Yeah.
nice warm summer scent. Or
Okay.
if we're going like the more mature, seasoned route, but it has a little like a unconventional like pairing, I would do Vanilla Bourbon by Nest. Now that one,
I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad
I'm a
at that.
warm gourmand girly, but warm scents they usually have their peak in like the fall winter times. But
Yes.
that one right there, it gives like almost like speakeasy vibes, like
Yeah.
great for date night, but you could also wear it during the day too. I would say that as well. Yeah.
Okay. And
Hmm.
I tend to rock with the vanilla bourbon smell.
Yes.
It especially as the body warms up,
And it takes
it
over.
emits. Yes, that emission is just a beautiful thing to have
Yes.
in your pocket. All right, so next question. Your studio is open. We come in, you greet us. What music is playing in the background?
Hmm. So we have the classic R&B playing. We have the
Okay.
neo soul playing. We have the alt R&B playing. We have some of the classic Mint Condition because it's my favorite
Mm.
band of all time. We have some
Do-do-do,
LMN. That's new age.
do-do-do-do-do, boom, boom.
Listen, okay? It just engulfs your bodies.
Yes. From the
Then sometimes
intros, all they
we might
intros
have a
are
little jazz break too.
okay.
Just so it's like a little palate cleanser. Yeah, but those are definitely my go-tos.
So I'm gonna up that question because I'm a
Hmm.
music head. Now when you said mint condition, I know you love music.
Listen.
What would be the song that would be considered the soundtrack of your life?
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. You thought I came to play today. Now we getting
Ooh.
to the golden nugget. I want all the golden
Baby.
nuggets.
Of my entire life.
Yes.
Oh, that's a loaded question because I feel like I evolve and change like every month. So,
At this point in time, what would be
uh,
if we had to play this song to represent Joey's life to this second, this day? What would it be?
ooh, you know what I would choose?
Talk to
I
me.
would actually do "Stressed Out" by Babyface because I see that as like an affirmational song. He's like,
Yeah.
baby, basically like everything's gonna work out. No need to be stressed out. Like, and it's just like the upbeat. Like it makes me feel good. Like if I start my day off with that song, it's like, all right, like I'm grounded. I'm good. I would say yeah.
I like it. I
Yeah.
like it. Come on, we could. Yes.
Listen.
Yes. I like that. And baby, I was just talking yesterday about
Hmm.
how I wish like more people understood the pen of Babyface. Like that man is a genius.
Living legend.
Oh, MG. Like people
Yeah.
don't understand the songs he's written.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
uh,
they don't.
and
I think it's
I was
definitely
saying
time to like dive in his catalog because it's lethal.
it's lethal. And matter of fact, the statement I left, and my boy was like, I'm gonna have to live with that one for a second. I was like, who would be the baby face of today? Like,
Ooh.
every generation has one. I mean, regardless of his actions, my generation was R. Kelly. R. Kelly
Mm.
was like, he wrote
Yeah.
for everybody. Like
Yeah.
it was just his pen is unmatched.
Yeah.
But
If
then,
I would say now, like
yeah,
right now, um, okay, someone who has a really lethal pen. Well, I wouldn't even say super lethal, but like I very much so admire the work that he's doing. I
consistent.
would say would be Eric Bellinger.
We can yes.
He
Oh,
his
wait. Eric is more still. How old are you?
I mean, I'm 27.
You on the cusp. Eric
I,
is
I'm on the,
still.
I'm a millennial. Like it just
We'll let you. I'll let you
like
make it on that. But Eric is like still in my catalog. Like, but
yeah.
I will say this: and I share this with my kids.
Hmm.
We had such a beautiful generation because we were on the end of like old school music, and
Hmm.
then like the 90s 2000 run was crazy. So when
Hmm.
you start talking like I said, we had R. Kelly, we had, you got Sean Garrett, you got Eric
Hmm.
Bellinger, you got like all
Garrett,
these people that were writing records, like
you are.
Brian Michael Cox,
Listen.
um Teddy Riley. Like,
Oh, you know who's a good one too in that range?
talk to me.
God rest his soul, Static Major.
Static Major.
If he was
Yes.
still here, oh,
Yes. Yes.
the
Now I
people would have.
will say more your generation that like it was toxic, but their music was solid,
Mhm.
was London and
And Summer.
Summer. Oh my God.
Yeah. Some of her best work came out of a very toxic relationship. I'll say
That's
that.
a whole nother podcast. Like,
Yeah, that is a whole nother thing.
but like the beauty of just, I don't know. Like I feel like there's certain people that pair together that just click
Hmm.
and musically,
Hmm.
but a lot of times we have we have problems like dealing with the things inside that cause us to and it's really on the same track of our conversation today about
Hmm.
things that either feed our creativity or
Hmm.
take away from us.
Hmm.
And like finding that balance is something I think that a lot of creatives struggle with, because when you create with someone, and I don't know if you ever done this, like you ever find somebody that you can create with that is so magical that sometimes it's hard for the other person to like want to leave it for reality. So it's like
Hmm.
they just want to stay in that space with you. And it's like, oh, well, we're done.
Yeah.
Like,
We
this
got
is
other things
not
to do too.
real. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But a
Yeah.
lot of people struggle with that. And I think sometimes that's where they live in their
Hmm.
journey together. It's like, long as they're making the music, it feels like love. It feels
Hmm.
like this magical place. But then
Hmm.
when we have to leave that for the real world, all of the
Hmm.
stuff and the baggage that we have not dealt with
Hmm.
becomes the issues. I think the same thing happened with Whitney. I think it was
Yeah.
like real life was not suitable, and they wanted the escape of just always
I
being
was
on.
about to say it's escapism, you know. We find that in many different realms. And I will say again, it goes with like the healthy balance of finding like the medium ground, right? Not getting too lost in it to where like you're totally separated from reality,
Yeah.
but in a way that is very healthy for you and allows you to keep going, that inspires you, you know, because I find my healthy escapism in like literature and like, you know, I've gotten into the black romance novel bag. Like,
Okay.
love that. Shout out to my god sister. She put me on because like that really, it's like, oh yeah, that is possible. You know, that is a thing. But yeah, the separation can tend to be skewed sometimes. So
That you listen, you're giving some very in-depth responses.
hmm.
And before we go there, because I always look at the fruit of a tree,
Hmm.
but it always started in a genesis state, a seed state. So
Hmm.
let's talk about like young Joey.
Hmm.
Walk us through that. What were you like as a child?
Baby Joe. I was Baby Joe.
Yeah.
Um, because everyone in my family claims I'm named after them, but I was definitely the child who questioned everything. I was a true Sag. I like to learn processes and like the adventures and the journeys of things. That's what really drew me to, you know, just arts in all realms. Love performing arts. I wanted to be a Disney kid so bad,
Really?
but that didn't happen, so that's okay.
Yeah.
So dancing, singing, I loved people acting. Like, I love theater because it like wrapped everything up in one. But also too, I had this obsession with faces. Like, I love the way everyone's faces are different, right?
Wow.
And so there was a time where, especially third grade was like the height of it, I was drawing portraits like back to back. And so then when I would watch my mom like do her makeup and experiment with all the different colors, like my mom was doing it big, okay? Looked like a peacock one day, just I
Really?
just loved it. And so I was always intrigued by that. And then she had these makeup books in the house. One was from Tyra Banks. It was like Tyra's Beauty Inside Out. I could see the cover right now. I wish I could find that book. And she had gotten that like signed too. And then the other one was Sam Fine's Fine Beauty.
Wow.
And it is like the classic Holy Grail. It's like my Bible. Like, that's what taught me how to do makeup and how to learn. And I would just keep going through it. It's like, it's sitting right here actually. Still have it. And that's what brought me to where I am today.
Yo, I hate to interrupt, but I had to stop and ask you guys to please subscribe. I'm editing this episode and everything else, but I had to get in here and say it means the world to me if you could. So if you could just stop, or when you finish the episode, either one, and just hit that subscribe button, I greatly appreciate it. All right, let's get back to the episode.
So yeah, once I was able to pick up a brush, and I was allowed to at least, I just went with it full force. And I just switched my medium from drawing and painting and stuff to faces. So
I love that a lot of us as creatives have similarities of things that are being imprinted into our being at an early age. So before I got into film, I fell in love with film with my dad taking me to see a movie when I was a kid. I remember this. We did the whole popcorn thing, and I want to say I remember it being like one of the Superman movies. And I was like, man, seeing that on the big screen just made me like, because I was a huge reader. My mom was big on us reading a lot. So I had a very vast imagination, but I also always had that same sage energy of wanting to always understand the logistics of what I was introduced to or in. So it didn't matter if it was my mom cooking, or I'm always like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? I could watch somebody do something once or twice and be able to do it. And it was like all these things of always wanting to be learning and consuming information. And to your point, it's funny that you landed on faces, because that is something I too find myself like, I may not remember your name. I'll remember your face.
And remember your face. Listen.
But tell me a little bit more about like you and your mom's relationship, because clearly makeup was something that she leaned towards. And now her baby Joe is now also crossing into this journey of something she loves. So you got the motherhood and daughterhood now being, even more in depth, because now we have something in common that we both can explore. Like, how's that been through your journey?
Yeah, so my mom is my best friend. I love her. She's my world.
Shout out to my dudes.
Yeah, love her. Shout out Zoe. But yeah, my mom has always been a well-rounded creative. So she's had her hands in everything. She just makes everything out of nothing. Like, I'll never forget, there was this time where we were reading a lot of books and something in her brain clicked, and she turned these book covers, like the hard bodies, into purses. And with like beaded straps and stuff like that. And now I see them coming back too. And it's funny, I went to the museum not long ago and I was like, Mom, like, you used to make these, like, and they're selling them now. Like, you were really ahead of your time. But she's always had her hand in something, whether it's interior design, whether it's fashion design and making clothes, whether it's beading and jewelry. My mom's a metalsmith and a very talented one at that. Like, she's had her hand in literally everything. And so that's always inspired me to do the same. Like, also not feel like I have to niche down, because that's a thing I'm exploring right now. Like, opening myself up more to my other creative abilities, and not just being a one trick pony, but actually pouring into being a jack of all trades. Like, it's
Yeah.
okay to be one. So yeah, with my mom, like, experimenting with like different lip shades. I just was on FaceTime with her the other day with her and my sister. She had this lip combo from the Lip Bar and it was bomb, and I was like, see, I gotta screenshot that because that's good. Like, she just does it and it comes
Yeah.
naturally for her. So yeah, I love her so much, and she's always been very supportive. I will say the reason why we're so close, me, her, and my sister, were very tight knit because my mom has always allowed us to see her as a being, like a human.
Mm.
Like, we've never, it's never just been like parent child. We've actually been able to see her for authentically who she is, and so I feel like that inspired us to be comfortable with being authentically who we are too. Of course, that comes with its trials and tribulations as you grow up, but yeah, I wouldn't be me if it wasn't for her. Like, yeah, I wouldn't feel comfortable with showing up the way that I do if it wasn't for my mom. So
That's beautiful. And I
yeah.
love that you talk about not being a one trick pony, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because one thing that I hear you talk about often is being multidimensional in
Mm-hmm.
your creativity and the things that you do. You're not just a makeup artist. You're not
Yeah.
just like, don't label me one thing. I'm
Mm-hmm.
more than that. How are
Yeah.
you? What are you doing, and how are you going about embracing more of your other creative measures and styles?
Mm-hmm. So this year, funny enough, I actually set an intention when this year started, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to be fierce fear, because I was like, I've learned time and time again, when I face my fears or when I do the things that are holding me back, like, oh my gosh, the grass is really green on the other side. Like, that's where my liberation is. That's where exploration is. That's where, the fun in life is. Um, and so I told myself I would put my best foot forward and just do the things I've always wanted to do, no matter what. Like, I feel like now is the best time to do that. I feel like we're all in a collective transition period
Yeah.
in different ways, where we can relate in personal ways. But so, like, for instance, one thing I really set an intention on was stepping more into my light, because
Hmm.
I found myself like hindering it almost and dimming myself for the comfort of others around me. So stepping more into my light, in the literal sense of stepping more in front of the camera. Like, I was like, I've always, wanted to like dabble in modeling and just showing up. Like, it's always been something that's been told to me too. Like, I think you could do this. I'm like, what? I think I can too. And just learning that art form more. And it's funny, as soon as I like spoke that out loud, things just started popping up.
Manifest.
Listen, I'm telling you. So, recently, I've been able to see the fruits of my labor, and all the seeds that have been planted earlier in the year, they're finally
Pop
being
it.
able to, they're popping out right now. So,
Pop.
I yeah, yeah. So, between doing a music video, and one that actually I felt like actually aligned with me too, and
No, speak on
showcasing
that. Don't
in a good
rush through
light.
that. Talk about
Listen,
that.
yeah, because there are a lot of times where you'll get opportunities or things will present themselves, but they're not necessarily aligned with you, or like your morals and your values. And so I made sure I was very specific with that too,
Yeah.
with that intention, making sure that the things that I'm calling in, they're not just anything and everything. Like,
Right.
they actually align with what I'm going through, who I am, what I stand for, my journey that I'm on, down to the people I'm creating with. Like, that's all very important. And so, yeah, I was able to do a music video with a friend, and I loved the concept. It was very 90s. I'm very nostalgic. It was really, really cool. And then I was able to do, and I felt very taken care of too during
Yeah.
that that whole experience as well. Then also recently I did a showcase. Well, I was a part of a showcase, which was a photo exhibition from my friend Televisions, called Renewal.
Okay.
And that one, it gets me emotional every time because it's so layered.
Yeah.
And I just recently made a post about this, like talking about and diving into how layered it is, between like just the meaning behind what renewal is, the rebirth process, and the beauty in it. I always say I align with like the phoenix, but mainly the phoenix rising,
Yeah.
because I've dealt with a lot of rebirths, the whole
Rebirth.
burning and then
Yeah.
rising out of the ashes. But also too, within that, something I've always related to, especially since I was a child, the orchid. I love orchids so much.
Really?
And I never knew, I thought they were just pretty, like a really classy, like really pretty flower when I was younger. Also very tropical, but getting older and learning how to take care of them and what they actually represent, they're a flower rebirth as well. Like, they're a plant that goes through its season. So once it sheds, don't throw your orchid away. Continue to plant it and nurture it because in the next season it grows a new stem and it reblooms again. So
You saying something? Saying
listen, and
something.
so I
I'm
love
a
a good
plant dad.
orchid.
My
Yeah.
baby's right in this corner back here, so I
Listen, I
understand.
got mine right here.
Yes.
Yes.
And I love that you say that because my community is a community of people who are either entrepreneurs or creatives,
Mhm.
where you have to pour into yourself, you have to water yourself a lot of times in different things. And
Mhm.
you said something about the orchid. It sheds, but
Mhm.
it doesn't mean that it's of no value.
Yeah.
You just have to know that a new season will come.
Thank you.
Oh man, like
Yeah.
if that isn't a great analogy of life,
Mhm.
and I think for me, when we first got on, we were talking before we started taping. I was telling you like some things that just I've been having to fight through. And
Yeah.
some of that is like even shedding people
Mhm.
where we may not know the reason why it falls off or
Mhm.
it's no longer attached, but we got to trust the fact that in a new season, everything that was taken will
Mhm.
be restored, right?
Mhm. And it comes back even better
Come on,
every
talk
time.
about it.
Like
Talk about it.
that rebirth is different because you're elevating with that too. You're evolving
Mm,
in that rebirth. It's not just a constant. You're staying in one place in one position. But that also does come with too. What I've been dealing with recently is grief, and so you're having to grieve who you thought you were
wow.
or what you've known for a certain period of time. And it's very uncomfortable. It's again a season of shedding. You're also again shedding relationships. You're shedding ideals, environments. Like you're literally bursting at the seams from something that you've been so comfortable with. And so I'm also learning how to embrace discomfort and seeing the value in it too. It's a fight. It is.
Yeah.
And especially too with someone who deals with anxiety as well, and those things, that fear of the unknown. Oh my gosh,
It's a
it
lot.
is. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's much easier said than done to overcome it, and so that's one thing I really set the intention of actively, putting myself out there to overcome that fear.
So let
Um,
me ask you this, Joy, real quick.
mhm,
What are you, how are you expressing because I know that has to come with a lot of emotions.
mhm,
It comes with a lot of, uh, you have to lean into faith a lot. You have to lean into the hope that this is not going to be your reality ongoing.
yeah.
Like I always say, the fastest way, um, when you're facing a storm is through it.
Hmm.
So like are you journaling like when you find these emotions of this process of things being removed, of you
Hmm.
facing like things that are no longer serving you within, how are you releasing the
Hmm.
old? I guess that's the best way to say it. How are
Hmm.
you shedding Like, are there artistic measures? I know some people write, some people meditate, some people run, work out.
Mhm.
Like, what is your outlet for shedding?
So I would say I do journal.
Okay.
I want to get back into physically journaling though, because I journal in my notes. So, because it's just the quickest way for
Yeah.
me, and I'm able to like just get everything out of my brain. People don't understand like the power in that, like actually either speaking out loud or just emptying out everything that's going on up here into the physical. Like it helps so much. I would say too, my village around me, especially my sisterhoods that I've built, chosen and given, like they mean the world to me, but they have helped me so much through this journey. Being able to just relate to each other, but also pour into each other as well, and speak life into one another. I'm a nature girl. I love being able to actually physically ground myself. It's needed. Especially I always feel like I'm in the clouds sometimes, and that can be it can be a good woo woo thing, and it can be a
Yeah.
good woo woo thing, but also too it can be very we need stability. So yeah, getting lost in the sauce and stuff like that, you need some grounding. So I've been doing my walks again, and really reminding myself of like the beauties in life. We can get so caught up in like these man-made things, right? That like society has put us in, and just being able to like, I talk to trees. Listen, I talk to plants. I talk to the world around me. I literally let go and
Yeah.
physically like speak things out loud. But I'm also very intentional with my word too, because I know the power of the tongue.
Yes.
There is definitely power in word. Something else too. I also, I'm a music lover, so I'll
Okay.
create playlists. And there's this thing that I've been doing since I actually started last year. Every quarter, I'll create playlists that represent me and the life that I'm going through right now. And so I'll add in songs that like I feel like are speaking directly to my day to day life.
Your mixtapes of life.
Yeah, yeah. So mixtape, it helps
Yeah.
so much, and it's funny to actually go back and listen to them. I'm like, wow, like
Look how
I
far
came
we've
from that
come.
space.
I know that's right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or if I
So
need re-inspiration. So
so that makes me wonder too, like how does that affect like so many of the different hats that you wear? Because
mhm,
I know the artist side of you is different than the educator side of you
mhm,
and the daughter side of you, or
mhm,
like the creative director side. Like
mhm,
how do you make sure like you're pouring into all aspects of those? Because
mhm.
I'm sure they all need different things to develop.
Yeah, that's a good question. Honestly, I feel like I'm figuring that out right now, and finding a balance, um, especially with the education portion, because that's something I fought for a very long time too.
Really?
Yeah, I was in a huge space of imposter syndrome. I did not think that little me, who sees herself as a forever student, would be in a position to also be a teacher. So,
You
and
make
that
it
comes
seem
with,
so natural though.
thank you.
I would have never thought you felt that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, yeah, that's something I've battled with, and thank you for saying that, because I realize it looks so much different from the outside than it does from me experiencing it.
Yeah.
Um, and I've gotten that reassurance around me too when I do show up in that space. It's like, duh, like this is a no brainer. This is something you definitely need to be doing, And so I guess leaning more into that and realizing like this is something that you're meant to do. Um, but also too, like, yeah, with the different hats I realize it's okay to give my different babies like their time,
Yeah.
like sometimes it's okay to put this down right now and you just focus on this. It's okay to put that down and then refocusing on this too, and sometimes they align and they all come together. So yeah, I'm finding my balance. I feel like I'm in that season right now
Yeah.
where I'm like, I'm figuring it out, but also too, with the power of the tongue, like I've been calling in a lot as well,
Yeah.
so to where I'm able to pour into those different facets and actually nurture them. Um, so yeah, I know that wasn't like a direct
No, that was great.
answer,
That was
but
great because I think it speaks to like every artist has their vision of what they see and how they see
Mm-hmm.
things.
Mm-hmm.
I love the uniqueness of every person that I talk to.
Mm-hmm.
The way you see creativity, the way you see uh doing the work to shape yourself is something we all can learn from. Like
Yeah.
like your uniqueness in that helps us all to see perhaps a way that we were not aware of.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you ever have a problem and it's a problem to you until you meet someone who says, "Oh, I know how to fix it." And then
Yeah.
they come in and it's like you're like, "Oh my gosh,
It's like, oh,
do you know how long I've
perspective.
been struggling with this?"
Yeah.
And you just walk in, "What did you do?" And it's like
Yeah.
now we know. And once we know, we can move on.
Yeah.
And this leads me to we're going to pivot a little, just a little,
Okay.
to we talked about you and your creative, you standing in your creative measure inside a little bit more outside of the makeup world and your other sets of skills as far as visual campaigns and stuff.
Mm.
What do you do to go about your storytelling aspect?
Mm.
Like, how do you approach storytelling when you are doing other things creatively?
Mm. So that's a great question because I was gonna bring that up earlier too. I'm like, my whole purpose in all of this and all of my creative pursuits, I love to storytell. I love to
Mm,
show the process and get into like the nitty gritty parts and because people relate to that too. They relate to the authenticity of things. You know, I didn't realize how many people were like me or like us and like love the process of the things, the
yes.
journey of the things. And so I make sure that, especially throughout like content creation, and showing up in the social media aspect, in the online digital space, um, I love to just show the behind the scenes, like because it's not something that we always see day to day. You
Mm,
know, like say for instance, you have a friend and they work in corporate, you have no idea what they do, but it's
yep.
like now like they take you through their day and it's like, oh wow, like that gives
That
me
day in the
a
life
different
content
perspective.
goes big.
Goes insane, you
Yes.
know. So I remind myself to continue showing up in that aspect too, because I never know whose story I'm a part of, and who I'll be able to touch, but just by simply being
Yeah.
me, you know. And I feel like that's getting louder and louder, in my day to day life.
Yeah.
Like it's like Joey, show up, show up. Someone else may need that, you know. That may help somebody, and that may be their stepping stone, right? Along with it being yours as well. So yeah, I really love showing the behind the scenes process. I was always that child too. Like when we would have the DVDs and on the menu, like you could see like the behind the scenes and
Yeah.
stuff, like how the movie was made, and that was my favorite part. Like I always loved that. I love the blooper reels. I love, you know, being able to see the authentic people behind these things. And I think that's also what got me more into the film space as well,
Yeah.
and being more a part of like production sets and those things, because I'm able to see everyone do their different things and see how the bigger picture is made, and how I can add to the puzzle piece as well. Um, so yeah, it's
I love so I'm gonna give you a little insight to me. So when I was
mm,
in high school, or I think it was even before, this might have even been junior high.
mm,
I used to write in notebooks. I didn't
mm,
realize I was journaling at the time, but I would draw like write out all the thoughts I had in my head,
yeah,
and I used to have like these businesses and concepts and things that I would just write out that I wanted to do. One of the things I remember reading, and I think my mom still may have some of these somewhere in attic somewhere.
mm,
But one of the things I wrote down was I don't want to be in the spotlight. I want to be the one that controls it.
mm,
And I often imagine like what was I like what space was I in to write such a thing? Like
yeah,
to be that aware that being behind the scenes
Mm-hmm.
is the longevity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everybody jumped like it's and a lot of times we avoid the spotlight at all costs.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
there's times and seasons where I feel like we have to do what we're doing now. And it's like, let's come in, let's talk about some of the things we've witnessed, the
Yeah.
experiences we've had,
Mm-hmm.
and what we've learned, right?
Mm-hmm.
But my happy place is always being in a position to where I can tell the stories of others.
Yeah.
Like people ask me all the time, like, man, like you shoot with this unique style. Like, how do you and I'm like, it's really just an energy thing for me. Like when
Mm-hmm.
I connect with people, when I come into a space, I don't want I might even sometimes say that I can become hyper sensitive or empathetic to the thing that I'm giving my focus to.
Yeah.
And people respond to that. I've had like spectrums of hardcore guys and people to like the Mother Teresa's of the world, and
Mm-hmm.
they all respond the same way. Where it's like, one, thank you for seeing me. Because one thing
Mm-hmm.
I always tell people when I interact with them or I create with them is thank you for sharing your space and energy and time with me. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I never take that for granted. I don't care if you're a millionaire. I don't care if you got $2 to your name. A lot of times I think in humanity, we forget the privilege of sharing someone's space and energy. Like,
Yeah.
you are a being.
Mm-hmm.
What you've done, what you've endured, for you to allow me to enter into that is very it's very special.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because when it's gone, it's gone. When
Exactly.
we you see what I'm saying? Like, how do you feel about that? Like, do you because you're up close and personal in a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the things that you do. Like,
Yeah.
how do you see that sharing that space with people that you come across?
Yeah. It's funny that you said how you thank people for being able to basically experience them because I feel the exact same way. And that's how I move in these different spaces and energies as well too, especially with day-to-day clients. I always say I take on the hat of a therapist. You
Yeah.
know, I take on the hat of a healer. And so I feel like what I do on a day-to-day basis allows me to be or to live in my full authentic purpose.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you said, we take on a lot of energies. And so it's something I'm very grateful for because it's something I'm very aware of too. I know the magnitude of, you know, how a space can feel in a shared space, especially again with day to day clients as well in the makeup sense. When people come in here, I want them to feel relaxed. I want them to feel at ease. I want them to feel like they're able to be their most vulnerable selves because that is a vulnerable space to be in too,
Right.
especially in the beauty space, like you're seeing me up close and personal, all the pores, all the
Flaws and
blemishes.
all. Be
Okay, I'm able to see your entire story within your face and also within the energy that you're projecting and what you're coming in with. Um, and so a lot of times I can pick up on people's energy very quickly and I'm like, let's talk about your day. Like what's been going on? It's my chair is usually the time where people are able to decompress. They're able to let out all of their emotions and their truths. And I just respect that. And that's not something I ever take for granted. Like I'm truly grateful for that. That's also something too where I've had to have find the balance of not taking on
Yeah.
what people are letting go of, not being the bag lady for everybody else,
That is
but
a
more so
woo.
being like, this is the station where you can drop your bags off at. You
Yeah.
feel me? But they're gonna be cleared through after that.
Yeah. We not leaving the leave
Yeah,
the
yeah,
baggage
yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can offload it, but
Yeah.
just know it's gonna be freed after that. So also being cognizant of that and being mindful and making sure I clear the energy of my space too, and myself, and I'm not bringing that home with me. But Yeah, I think that's what I enjoy the most in the creative space, community, like just being able to connect.
Yeah.
And I often say, people always ask me, like, who do you want to work with, in these certain spaces and aspects? And I always go in depth. I can't help it because I'm just like, that's someone I actually want to experience.
Yeah.
Like their energy, like something about them, that's someone I actually want to have a conversation with, not just paint their face or not just put them in this certain light, or just do this project with them. Like I actually want to connect with them. And that's something I also move with too, intentionally with when it comes to these different spaces that I'm navigating as well. But yeah, you said something earlier too about, just being the lover of being the controller of the spotlight, because that's where you're able to actually step into the bag of the creator.
Yes. Talk about it.
Like it's that duality. It's like you're able to see the bigger picture. You're able to step outside real quick and actually view the different viewpoints and perspectives, and shift the light, shift the energy. Yeah, so that's something I align with too, and really admire. But I find myself wanting to be in both. Wanting to step into the bag of the seer, but also being the person who's experiencing, right? And being the one who the light is shined on too, because I understand the importance of that as well. And so that's something I've been stepping more into again this year, going back into the things we had previously talked about. But
So I can't let us avoid this because we both have shared an experience that I would love to hear your perspective on.
Okay.
So one of the biggest, I would say, mountaintops in my career was getting the call to document the Destiny Child reunion by Parkwood. So they were in Vegas. Michelle Williams she had dropped her album and she was doing her release. Excuse me. And I was out there working and they were looking for someone to do docu-style content over them coming together because they had not seen each other in a little bit of time. So Kelly was there, Beyonce, um, Michelle, Blue had just been born. So this is where that was.
Yeah.
And nobody had seen Blue. Matter of fact, my NDA was this thick. Like, and they were like, you can have the job. Like, this is real time. Like, and I'm like, can I get my attorney to look at this? And they're like, listen, it's Beyonce.
Yeah.
Because at first they wouldn't tell me who it was. Like, you're going to work with Parkwood. She documents everything.
Yeah.
When, I mean, any part of what she's doing, she has it filmed. So I just go with it. I sign it. Like when I say from the time I hit record to the time I hit stop, everything had to be given. Like there was no, oh, I shoot something and you take it out. No, like foul. She's so intricate, right?
Yeah.
But I felt like I went to a master class the way her team executes everything. And one of the things I took with me that they kept saying in a lot of their meetings were there's no such thing as a small detail. Everything is a big detail.
Yes.
And I was like,
yes.
What? And you see the greatness that comes from it. Now you got to work with her brand, Sacred.
I was a Sacred ambassador, yes.
Talk to us about it. How first off, how did you even get in to that point where you could be an ambassador?
Yeah, so it's so funny because we're talking about alignment, right? And we're talking about speaking things into existence. And so when that opportunity presented itself, I just felt so aligned with that. I was like, yes, like, because it allowed me to step into a light to just be me.
Wow.
I didn't have to put on a certain mask or persona, you know. I was encouraged to just be me and to connect with people and to literally just do what I naturally love to do. And that's what I took away from the experience. It was such a great, fun experience too for me. So when the opportunity presented itself, I was actually sent it. They had like open call like applications. So I was like, why not? You know,
Why not?
I've worked with other brands too, especially like in the event type space. You know, mainly working at like, you know, as an actual pro makeup artist, you know, and
Yeah.
telling them more about like the products and the details and things like that. But also still being myself, you know, interacting
Yeah.
with everybody, you know. And so I was like, why not? Like I have experience in this. Like this is
Yeah.
something I can do. Even though it's a little bit outside of my realm because it's more in the hair care space, but I was like, I dabble in hair care. Like I love that. Even though that's not my profession, like that's
Yeah.
something I love to do and to explore, and I love the brand too. So yeah, I signed up. And I ended up being picked as the sacred ambassador for the DC shows, and that was an amazing experience because I was able to also do it alongside um my sisters in the creative space too. So
Get out.
like my friend Kia, who's my sister in Christ, like that's my girl. We were able to do it together. My friend Sydney Noel. We're all makeup artists too, right? But we're
Yeah.
makeup artists with personalities. Like we're much more than just, you know, our bread and butter, right? And so it was amazing to be able to step into that space and do that. You know, working with the Sacred Tour team, they were amazing. They took care of us. Um, yeah, it was great to be a part of too, especially since I had just gone to the Cowboy Carter show in Chicago. I
Yeah.
was like, this is a full circle thing happening right here, you know?
Yeah.
And so being able to bask in that, to not only be a part as a fan and as an admirer, you know, and take in that whole experience of the actual show, but then also being able to step into a different facet and a different light of being able to, you know, welcome people into that show, you know, help them learn more about the brand. It was a really, really good experience. Like
That's
it was
beautiful.
very, very refreshing. But again, it just goes to show like the power in just showing up authentically as yourself and however that may look. I literally was like, what's the best that can happen? Like, you know? So yeah, great experience, great experience.
So with all of those great things that you have experienced, I want to, as we, round this episode up, I want to ask you, and this is pun intended,
Mhm.
for a little golden nugget of wisdom for anyone that's watching or listening, that's chasing the dream. What's one piece of advice you can leave with them to take with them right now?
I would say, yeah, basically what I just touched on. Think about every day when you wake up and you get those inklings, because I feel like we all get those natural inklings, like we're being drawn towards something, but we have that little anxiety behind it, like, I'm not sure if I should do it, or I'm not sure if I'm ready, or I'm not sure if I'm in that space. Literally ask yourself, what's the best that can happen?
Yeah.
That has helped me push past the starting point and push past so much that was, I didn't even realize was holding me back um, in this entire experience. And it has allowed me to bring in and actually experience all these blessings that have been meant for me, it was literally on the other side of myself. Like, I was being my worst enemy in a sense, you know? I was holding myself back from so much. So, literally stepping outside of myself, being able to view and see the bigger picture, or at least being open to that, and opening myself up to the possibilities. Um, that has helped me tremendously. So, I want you all to definitely ask yourself, what's the best that can happen? And even if you can't imagine it, at least be open to it and
Yeah.
call it, you know? So yeah, that's my little golden nugget.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, I know everyone listening wants to know and join your journey. Uh,
Mhm.
if you could share where they can find you online.
Yes. So you guys can find me on Instagram and TikTok at the Golden Nug. There's no E in golden, so it's TheGoldnNug. On my Instagram as well, I also have a pro makeup artist page where you can see more behind the scenes of that day to day, which is the Golden Nug Pro. That does have an E. And that's linked in my bio, my personal page. You can also find me on YouTube. Same, it's the Golden Nug. And yeah.
All right. Well, we're in the fourth quarter. Do you have anything that's going on between now and the end of the year that we, should be aware of? Christmas is coming. Do you have gift cards? Do if anyone wants your services, or like they're able to, book you, all those things?
So I will be stepping more into my educator bag.
Okay.
This fourth quarter, that's something I'm prepping and mastering and editing right now as we speak, but definitely be on the lookout. I would say also visit my website, have that saved and tucked in your back pocket. It is www.byjoieemmanuelle.com, because a lot of new things will be popping up on there soon.
Let's go.
In this fourth quarter, because I really feel like this is the time to also give more. And I've been listening to the requests over the past months, years, and so that's definitely finally something that I'm going to be able to share soon. So stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned for that. Listen, I'm so thankful to have you on today.
Thank you so much.
This conversation was very wonderful and so enlightening. I hope you enjoyed yourself.
Yes, I did. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and I love to have you back in the future.
Yes.
You're a friend of the pod now, so anytime you have something you want to promote or you just want to talk about, feel free, come on. You can bring some of your friends. Maybe we'll get some more of the creative community in here from the DC area that's in your circle, and we can get a nice little conversation. I'm always down.
I have some people in mind already. I'm gonna bring one.
Hey, we'll set it up for real.
Yes.
I'm with it. And I don't know, you're in your shop now. Are you enjoying? I gotta ask the entrepreneur in me. Are you enjoying having a dedicated space?
I am.
Yeah, I know it's a little different being able to just walk in and although we saw your reel where you thought you had an appointment and you were in there running and it was the wrong day.
Listen, I will say, it'll get the best of you, and sometimes your brain's over here, the calendar is this way, things are scheduled differently. It happens, especially for us creative entrepreneurs working in this space, and working in the service of people. Things happen. But I am truly grateful for my Studio C space. This is my first year.
Yeah.
In here, I just celebrated my 1 year.
I saw that.
Yes. So it's honestly a breath of fresh air. It's great to be able to separate, the working side from home. It's amazing to be able to curate it myself and actually turn it into a home away from home, where people can come in and they can just be comfortable and be at peace. So it's not something I take for granted at all. It's definitely a new responsibility too, but it is something I very much so love. So
well, look, y'all check her out. It's been a great episode. Make sure you share this with someone that needs to hear this. This is a interactive community where it is not about us just being spectated. We literally add value so that we can all grow. One of my favorite sayings is a rising tide lifts all ships. So make sure you are putting someone in position so we can all rise together. Man, thank y'all for listening. Joie, again, thank you so much. And we'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.
Hey.